Hey, it's Troy here from the Gentle Men. I just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a look inside the Skynut music session. I'm not going to get too involved in everything. It's just really going through the little elements and instruments and soloing some stuff, and just so you can see what went into the song to make it what you're hearing now. Might as well start from the beginning. So the beginning intro is it's like an atmosphere track. There's a bell and there's some monks. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Let's go along to the verse. So the verse, the drums, they're just Boom, which is a standard plugin that comes with Pro Tools. I really like Boom. It's really simple and gives you some decent kind of electronic drum sounds. I think I just put a little bit of distortion on it and kind of compressed it quite hard. And then we got the bass. And we've got the like a ARP bass. Then there's the main synth line. And then in the second half of the verse, there's like a fizzy bass that pops in. There's also just like a little piano as well, you can hear. And the very last part of the verse, there is another little chimey sound that I call it. Let's play them all together. I did a little bit of automation with the reverb on the drums there. That's pretty much it for the music for the verse. So we'll have a look at the vocals. So there's 3 vocals here. There's a non-robot, which is just a clean vocal take. There's a vocoder type robot, and then there's a low, it's a bit like a whispering type robot.
Our ejaculation fuels their automation. Unwelcome.
That's triggered by MIDI, so I wrote in the MIDI of the vocal melody, which triggered a vocoder, and then I did the same with this low one here.
Our ejaculation fuels their automation. welcome stimulation, further insemination.
Then I just blended in a bit of clean as well.
Our ejaculation fuels their automation. Unwelcome. Our ejaculation fuels their automation. Unwelcome stimulation, further insemination.
At the end of the verse, I think I just filtered down this main synth line. Let's go to the chorus. The chorus is real drums. I recorded them in quite a small room while I was doing some Soul State tracks last year. It wasn't, I mean, the room was pretty good, but it didn't have a huge sound to it, so we reinforced the drums with some triggers in the mix stage just to make it sound a little bit bigger than it actually was. Bring in the bass. That's just the bass guitar I just plugged into my interface, and I think I just put I can't remember which plugin I put on it. So it's pretty straightforward. And then there's a bass ARP type synth. Here is it. And there's a high synth as well. Which is obviously from the verse. And there's another high synth. It's a hi-hat here I programmed in as well. Coming out of your left speaker. Let's have a look at these guitars. There's 3 double track guitars. There's just the general chords, and then there's an octave, and then there's like single string, which is doing the same as the chords. Here's the octave. And then the single string. The guitar sounds are actually, they're not great at all. When I was writing the song, I plugged into the Kemper, and I think I got like a 5150 or something really pretty standard, and just played it in. And it just the vibe was kind of cool, so I just left it. I never re-recorded the guitars. They just kind of worked somehow, so I just left them. Let's put everything in there. We just got the piano pop in at the end as well. Those vocals you can hear there are just my backing vocals. I forgot to mute them. So we might as well move along to the vocals. So it's just Charlie doing his fry, like growling. There's two, there's a main, there's a double. And I think that's about it. And then I'm doing some low stuff just to reinforce it a little bit. Sorry about the scrolling, it's such a big session. And there's a double in there, you can barely hear it.
Born into a world without enemy.
And there's a parallel vocal in here as well. I think it's like a parallel distortion.
Born into a world without enemy.
I'll just put everything in.
Born into a world without enemy, where the sun doesn't shine. There's no sanitary. We are left alone.
Second verse is exactly the same as the first verse, apart from the bridge. It's like a pre-bridge thing, where I just took out some of the elements of the verse and just brought it down a bit and filtered some stuff out.
Humanity overrun. The night is darkest before dawn. Here they come to cage us.
So we just got his vocal there. This is actually his demo vocal. It sounded really good. When he originally sent it to me, he always sends me all his vocals in a very rough form to write the music to. But it felt kind of cool. He redid it, but the original sounded good, so I just kept it. Then we got the John Connor Save Us, which is his high scream type thing, and then there's a pitch down version I did here. And the pitch down. I did like a delay automation here, so it sort of rings out over the rest of the music. So this heavy riff, bridgey thing. It's just guitars, and it's just guitars, bass. There's nothing that fancy going on in there. I think there's a little high guitar line. I think there's maybe. So much delay. That Dick Alone, Leave My Dick Alone bit, that was done, it was done like months after the rest of the vocals, because we just wanted something as a transition from that heavy bridge to the chorus, so we jammed that in there, and it kind of worked. It sounds pretty cool. And the only thing different, I think, in the last chorus is this high guitar line I put in. It's a little bit out of time, but same thing again. I only played it real roughly, and it sounded okay, so I left it in. Sometimes you can go over and over something, but the feels right the first time you play it, and being perfect isn't always what you want. If it just kind of feels cool, that's what's important. I think that kind of covers it, just the basics of what's in the song. Mix wise, I treated it as two different songs. The synth wave type stuff, I mixed that completely separately, and I kind of got that to like a 80% finished stage. And then a friend and I worked on Zoran Mendonça, we worked on the chorus together, and then I brought it back to my house again, and then I just kind of got everything sitting like it sounded like it was supposed to be in the same song. The verse and the chorus actually have their own pre-master bus, so I was kind of compressing each section differently to work together. I didn't want the synth stuff to be too compressed, and I wanted the chorus stuff to be a bit rawer and not as polished. But I think it kind of worked, and it was a bit of fun. Yeah, I think that's about it. Hope you enjoyed looking into Skynut, and I'll see you later.